What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and it's time for episode 3 of 5 Questions with Levi, as we're going to answer the questions I was asked on last week's video. And just as a reminder, after you get done watching this video, be sure to send in questions in the comments section below on this video, and I will answer those questions next week for episode 4. But without further ado, let's do it. Alright, so the first question comes from Daniel Rafael de Jesus, and the question is, what is your thoughts about new metal music? Basically, the Limp Bizkits, the Korns, Linkin Park, Slipknots, those kind of bands. Like any style of music, there's gonna be good stuff and there's gonna be bad stuff, but the thing with new metal is the majority of it was pretty bad. Like, the only bands that had any musical value, in my personal opinion, out of the new metal scene were bands like Korn, Deftones, Slipknot, Disturbed. That's about it. Like, Limp Bizkit, bleh. Even though I like a couple of their songs, yeah, in hindsight, they're one of the worst bands of all time. Linkin Park, they got some good stuff, however, it's just... I mean, rest in peace, Chester Bennington, but after growing out of listening to them as a kid, I just grew tired of them, personally, for my take. And also, that also contributes to the factor I was discovering much better music, pretty much after the new metal boom happened when I was a kid. But yeah, like, the only bands in new metal that I would listen to still to this day, or check out songs more often here and there, are Korn, Slipknot, Deftones, and Disturbed. That's basically it. But new metal as a whole, I feel like it's been poisoned over the years, especially now when you got bands trying to revive new metal, but doing it within metalcore or deathcore. Bands like Attila and Amir, and good lord, those bands fucking suck. So, we don't really need a revival of that movement. What we need is for the established bands that have been doing it for a long time and did it well to keep going with what they do, or evolve their sound. Like, Disturbed has evolved immensely since their first album. They've gone from a new metal sound to a more traditional / alternative metal sound. And Deftones kind of went from new metal in the first 2 albums to a much more alternative, even to an extent post-metal sound. Slipknot, of course, has changed a little bit there, here and there, with incorporating more death metal elements. Some thrash gets thrown in there. And then, of course, Korn, they kind of been the same, but at least they were the first band in the genre that knew how to do it and do it well, so... It's excusable for them to still be new metal because they were the godfathers, so it makes sense in that scenario. Next question comes from my pal, Mr. Fort Minor Project. What's up, David? Besides the great list of Marvel movies, what movies are you looking forward to seeing this year? Well, the thing is, I don't really go see any other movies anymore. I just go to see Marvel movies. But there are a couple of non-Marvel movies that I've seen trailers of or commercials for that look pretty cool. Like Incredibles 2 looks great. I saw the trailer for the new Wreck-It Ralph movie, and that looks cool. I know there's supposed to be a Mowgli movie with a bunch of talented actors and actresses in it. The Benedict Cumberbatch Grinch movie's coming out in around Christmas time. So yeah, there's quite a few non-Marvel movies I would like to see, but the only thing is, I'm just into the Marvel movies so much to the point where I try and go see them. Like, I still haven't seen Deadpool 2 yet, and that's because I've been busy with work, and it's pissing me off because I want to go see that so much. But I think you get the idea. BlazeLife334 says, which do you prefer, PlayStation or Xbox, and why? Well, if this is a clue, then most people should know by now that I'm a PlayStation guy. I've never really got into Xbox because the controllers to me seem too weird, like having an analog stick where the D-pad is, and it just... I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. I barely got into the GameCube when it had a controller like that, but I've always been a PlayStation guy ever since I was a kid when the PS1 was around. And then the PS2 came out, and I was addicted to the PS2, and then I had the PS3 for a while. Now I'm at the PS4, and I got no idea when the hell a PS5 is going to come out. If I were Sony, I would wait until about 2021 or 2022 before the PS5 comes out, because we've only had the PS4 for less than 5 years. So, yeah, I think they ought to wait on the PS5, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I've just always been a PlayStation guy ever since I was a little kid, and I will always be a PlayStation guy. So, there you have it. Next question comes from Mr. Death Metal. Have you heard of the band Bad Wolves? This ain't the first time anyone's asked me about that. Ironically, my friend Zach Rogers asked me this, and I told him the same thing I'm going to say here, and that's no. I know of the fact that they did the cover of Zombie by the Cranberries, I want to say, that band. And I do know that one of the members is Doc Coyle, who used to be in God Forbid, but other than that, that's about it. I never heard of Bad Wolves, but I hear they're like this big super group in the world of metal, but yeah, I don't know what else to say, to be honest with you. And the last question comes from one of my brothers from another mother, Mr. Austin Weiner. What's up, bro? Thoughts on the CM Punk trial and being found not guilty? Well, for those who don't know, this trial started like almost 4 years ago after CM Punk walked out of WWE for a bunch of different reasons, but the biggest one being a misdiagnosed staph infection. And he revealed that on the Cole Cabana podcast, and then the doctor of WWE, Chris Amon, sued both Punk and Cole for I think it was a defamation lawsuit, if I'm correct. And then, so basically they've been in court for a good part of the year, or actually not for the year, but a good part of the past month or so. And now that Punk's not guilty and pretty much this crap is over. I mean, good on Punk, but I mean, does this open the door for Punk to come back to WWE? I don't think so. As much as some people want that to happen, I just don't see it, at least not right now. I said it before and I'll say it again. Someday CM Punk will come back. Whether or not if he's going to wrestle is a different story, considering he's going to be 40 this year. But eventually, someday, he's going to come back. If he's going to go into the Hall of Fame, he has to come back. And even Punk has admitted himself, never say never. But he's got his UFC career going on, and funny enough, his next fight's this weekend. And I guarantee you, if he loses again, he's probably going to consider coming back to pro wrestling. I bet you that, but I'm not going to hold my breath. But that's pretty much all I've got to say. And that hereby concludes episode 3 of 5 Questions with Levi. If you have a question you want me to answer, be sure to put them in the comments section below, and I will answer them for next week's episode. But until then, I'm ThrashManiac99, peace out, and I will see you soon.